Welcome back. This is video 2 of the RCG gaming unit. We're going to go through just some additional detail in regards to what you can do to further support the customer and make sure that you are abiding by your responsibility as a worker in the gambling area. So we're going to go through a bit more detail in regards to what's available to you. You'll see on the screen that it does give you some insight into what questions we are focusing on in this video here. There is quite a bit of detail that is in here that can certainly that you'll certainly be able to help you get through it. The main thing that we're going to go into is what are some of the strategies that we can utilise. So the first one is going to be because we recognise when someone's been playing for quite a long time. Sometimes what they just need is a break. They just need a break. They need to leave the machines. They need to take a bit of a breather, get their head right, and really just have the opportunity to think about what they're doing. Not everyone has a problem, like we said in the last video. Not everyone has a gambling problem. We're not there to boss people around and stop them from gambling. If they want to gamble, they enjoy it. A lot of people do. Then great, do it, enjoy it. That's what it's there for. But for some people, it does become a problem. It can affect their family, can affect their financial situation, work, family. So it can be a big impact. So we just want to make sure that we know what we can do, the small things that we can do to be able to support that person. So as you can see, the first one is to really just encourage them to leave the machine by for example, coming to the bar to get a drink, so not always providing drink service to the customer. That might be done at certain times throughout the day when we know that people have been playing for quite a long time. We might cease bar service and ask everyone to come to the bar. That can be done for two reasons: for RSA and also to encourage them to leave the area. Encouraging food, so not just delivering food to the individual. Asking them to leave the gaming machine, the gaming area, and go to to a bistro or to a cafe within the venue, or come out to the bar area, get a breather, get some fresh air. So ask them to leave that area and just take a bit of a break. They can certainly reserve the machine and come back a bit later on. Okay, leaving to go get money. Is also quite an important thing to also be focusing on. ATMs and FPOS machines are outside of the gaming area, and that's a good chance sometimes for people to see how long they've been playing for. Having clocks available, is not required by law, but most people have cameras on their phone. So have the time on their phones. The machines have the time as well, reminding people what time it is. Even having things like calling out and notifying customers when there's possibly cabs outside, or there's a courtesy bus that's leaving the venue. All those sort of things, people can then get some insight into what time it is and that it might be time to leave. There's also a couple of questions in there in regards to payouts, so how payments are able to be made. As you would have seen in the content, that $5,000 cash is the maximum that you can provide per day to the customer. Any other amounts must be paid by either check or via EFT. We do encourage check or EFT because obviously when a check or EFT is deposited into their account, they don't have access to that cash straight away. If they once they get it, hopefully they can utilise it, for, to pay their bills and to support their lifestyle, and they're not going to just jump in and do an impulse, cash out deposit and use it for gaming on that day. As you would have seen through the content, there's also information in there in regards to what, if it is a check, what information needs to be on that check. So please go through the content in detail. It is quite specific, the information that needs to be on there, on that check, and what the rules and regulations are. Okay, as you covered in the last video, there is quite a bit of information that you need to know in regards to self-exclusion schemes. There is signage available, and certainly do direct the customer to that signage, and there is contact cards and brochures, and there's counselling services. There's a lot of information available to the customer and also to yourself, so please utilise that information. Utilise the signage, give out the cards and the brochures, and make the customer aware of where the information is able to be accessed. Another great resource that is available to the customer is a player activity statement. That can really help the customer understand their patterns, understand how much they've been gambling, and be able to see through clear data that maybe, they're just not winning. They're not, overall, it's actually costing me more than I can afford. And that's what the player activity statements are there designed to do, to provide them with the information they need. If they can afford to gamble, if they can afford to lose the money they're losing, then great, so be it. But if they can't, this activity statement can really help just to make it clear on exactly what how much they're spending. One thing you would have realised by now is that record keeping is absolutely vital, both for us, RSA, and also for RCG. It is our responsibility to capture as much information as possible. Anything from self-exclusion to any signs or contact cards that might be missing for whatever reason. We have to be very conscious of the signage available. It can sometimes be damaged by customers or by other occurrences, whether it's weather or damage. Okay, so anything like that, anything in regards to responsible service of alcohol, if a customer has been refused service or removed from the venue, that all needs to be recorded on the incident reports. And in most cases, this is going to be a paper booklet that is available at the venue. It is very important that we utilise that information between the team, and managers need to make sure that staff are aware of what incidences have been recorded and make everyone aware of what's been happening. This level of insight and especially as a team is very important, so everyone is aware of what they need to be on the lookout for. So anything like that is recorded should be sort of given to the staff to have a look at, and it should be utilised within meetings as well. In some cases, you may be utilising a digital version of an incident report, an incident log. These are very effective. On the screen, you can see there's one example that is available that you could be using. There are other options available as well. These online portals can also be a great way for managers to be then drawing reports from those, whether it's an incident register, or even sending staff a copy of these reports. They can be utilised to be sent to the police and also to inspectors. So there's some great benefits, and it's much easier to be able to record this information as well. Okay, so that's the end of this video. Good luck with it, and anything that you need, please feel free to reach out.